You worked at SaaStr before Agent Sync, and I'm a huge fan of SaaStr. I mean, it had such a positive impact on my career, and I think we all have listened to the Godfather of SaaS, Jason Lemkin's blog posts and stuff, and I've learned so much from him. Like, what was it like working for Jason, and what did you learn from Jason?
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it, right? Like Godfather of SaaS. I learned a ton working from Jason, and I am so grateful for the time that I spent there. Candidly, the role before I worked at SaaStr was a relatively short stint as a head of sales at an early stage startup that just didn't work out, and my confidence was a little rattled from that. And I came on board at SaaStr in sort of like a consulting capacity, really as like an AE selling, and I got my mojo back in a big way there. And that was kind of the step I needed to make before taking this jump at Agent Sync. And I'll be forever grateful, for the opportunity. I think I learned a ton of stuff from Jason. He's an incredibly gifted salesperson, but you'd sort of like never know without like actually observing it, because it isn't like his background per se. I think the other thing I really learned about SaaStr is just the power of brand. Like it's a small team there. Like people are often surprised to hear there's like a dozen people that work at SaaStr, because like the brand and the voice that SaaStr like puts into the market is, you can hear it. And I think there was just so much investment made in the brand and the consistency of the value created for the community over like a decade plus that just has this amazing flywheel network effect. And so the events, really were kind of the driver of the business from like a revenue perspective. But it was just amazing to me how you could pick up the phone and somebody would know, oh, SaaStr, yeah, no doubt. Let's talk. And customers like you guys at Lattice, when you're the VP of marketing there, that was sort of our target buyer, right? And it was funny. I'd worked at a bunch of startups, but no startup that I'd ever worked at has had a better brand or a more recognized brand than SaaStr. And that's like, that's something that Jason has sort of been in the background working on for a long, long time. And it makes it easier to be successful, in that kind of an environment. So I think that was like one of the big lessons. But yeah, just super, super grateful for the time spent there.
Yeah, no, he's amazing. And I think, it's cool to hear that he's just as good at sales as he is at marketing, because all the marketing stuff you just see and the volume and the quality of the content that he puts out is just so spot on. And just like, there's so many blog posts or just tweets or whatever that I feel like speak to like your inner soul of something you're dealing with as part of building a SaaS company. You're like, how did you just read my mind, Jason? Like, so it's really cool to hear that it kind of lives up to that behind the scenes.
Definitely some deep cuts from Jason, and he's walked the mile, right, in these shoes as far as being a founder and sort of being in the trenches, and has gone out of his way to share a lot of those stories. So they're doing awesome work over there at SaaStr, and I think it's also opened my eyes to the fact that I think that like there's just a need for more communities like that across industries. Like it's very SaaS focused, of course, but now working kind of more in the insurance industry, there's like a notable absence of like that kind of a community, even though the like demand for it exists. And so I'm pretty bullish on, like micro communities and like the events that sort of like drive those communities and everything like that. SaaStr being like a great poster child for it.